A very good evening to you all, wherever you are listening, and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set programme 229 on December the 8th. I hope this finds you well. As you will have worked out, we are not live this evening, the reason being that I am playing for another Christmas engagement tonight, so I cannot be with you live, unfortunately. But I do hope you get almost as much enjoyment out of our next best thing, recorded live, A Date with a Dinner Set. So it's been another quick week, hasn't it? I think the days go so quickly in December with the lack of light. I do hope, as I say, this finds you all well. At the time of recording, the UK is on a red alert for Storm Dara, so I do hope that by the time you are watching this has now passed without any catastrophe anywhere. So, obviously, I'm not chatting with, well, I am chatting with you, but I'm chatting to you rather than with you because there is no chat room this evening. But I expect you will have typed in the name of that opening music. We always open with a bit of TV or film music. In the case of this evening, it was a very famous bit of film music, which for some reason cropped up into my head this week, and that's why you got it. It was, of course, the very iconic and wonderful music to Lawrence of Arabia, the 1962 film starring Alec Guinness and Anthony Quayle and Peter O'Toole and all those sorts of people. A fantastic film. I've not watched it all the way through, I have to admit, but I know enough about it to know that it was absolutely groundbreaking as a film and won seven Oscars, which is absolutely fantastic. And that beautiful score was composed by MAURICE JARRE. Now, MAURICE JARRE, when he was asked to write for Lawrence of Arabia, was an unknown. And they had approached William Walton and also Malcolm Arnold, but both were either unavailable or unwilling to write a score. So MAURICE JARRE was actually given 6 weeks to compose that amazing orchestral score, 2-hour score. What an achievement. And of course he then went on to do Dr. Zhivago in 1965, Passage to India, blah blah blah. And perhaps equally as well known is his son, Jean-Michel Jarre, the electronic keyboard player, famous for, amongst other things. So a very, very musical family. So that was our opening music, the theme music to the 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia. I hope you enjoyed that one. Got you full of Eastern Promise or Turkish Delight or something like that. Now, this evening's programme is a really interesting one. It's always interesting, I hear you saying, but no, this one, the connections that I've managed to put together are lots of fun. So do keep your ears and your eyes open, and all will be revealed or explained at the end if you haven't already revealed it in the chat room. How exciting for me to come back from my engagement to see whether you have spotted it before I need to tell you what's going on. But what I will tell you and what I will share with you is that everything you are hearing tonight was composed within a 25-year period. That's just the way it has been in the planning of this programme. So without further ado, apart from the usual sip of coffee, I will get on with the playing, and you please feel free to chat in the chat as normal to each other. That would be wonderful. Or if you're watching this on the catch-up, then do comment on the video below it. That's always useful to do. Do enjoy this evening's programme, wherever and whenever you are listening to it. A nice, lively one for our opening song this evening. I feel sure you have been typing it in. It was, of course, from the musical Sweet Charity, the musical from 1966. That musical was composed. It was later turned into a film in 1969, famously in both the original Broadway production and indeed the film. The quite bizarre and amazingly complicated choreography was by Bob Fosse. Sweet Charity composed by Mr. Coleman, who also composed Barnum, City of Angels, songs such as Witchcraft. Quite an amazing composer, pianist, leader, arranger, etc. And the title of that first song, which you listened to and hopefully enjoyed and were toe-tapping along to, was If They Could See Me Now, or If My Friends Could See Me Now. And it seemed a nice, lively one to start with this evening. So from 1966, If They Could See Me Now was our opening one. As always, if you enjoy what you are watching and listening to on A Date with a Dinner Set on YouTube channel Gigi the Piano Man, do press carefully the thumbs up button on the left and it will illuminate for you. Similarly, if you have happened upon this program and you're not subscribed to the channel and you would like to be, it is of course free because it is YouTube. So do subscribe if you've happened upon this and like the sort of things we do, this Sunday evening program and a Friday upload as well. So that was our opening song this evening. As I say, I hope you enjoyed this one. As I say, again, hope this does find you well on December the 8th. Program 229 of A Date with a Dinner Set. Apologies, we are in a recorded live situation, warts and all. We start at the beginning and we finish at the end. It's all very logical, really, but we don't stop and do any edits or anything, which is the next best we can do to being with you truly live on the program. A sip more coffee before something a little more calming, which I also hope you will enjoy. When I watched that one back, I know you will have been typing in even before I pressed one of those video graphics to give you a little hint in case you were struggling with the title of that. The title of that song was, of course, If I Loved You. If I Loved You, from 1945, from the musical Carousel. And that beautiful, beautiful song was composed in 1945, as I say, and it was composed by, yes, that wonderful duo of Mr. Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein. It was their second musical. They had a bit of self-doubting, I suppose, as all creative people do from time to time, because it being their second musical, they were concerned that Carousel would be compared in an unfavourable way to their first great hit, Oklahoma. That wasn't the case, of course, and it went on in its first iteration on Broadway to do over 900 performances. One of their most popular and enduring musicals, one of their longest musicals as well, I hasten to add. It has its moments, but it is quite a slow-moving one, a slow burn, that one. But a beautiful song, If I Loved You, from 1945. So I do hope you enjoyed that one. Our second, slightly calmer song for this evening on A Date with a Dinner Set, programme 229. If you tuned into last week's programme, you will have heard us end the programme with a version of O Come, Emmanuel on an organ in Dorking. Well, I've been on my travels organically, as it were, and I'm lucky to be playing, I think, 7 or 8 different organs in this Christmas season. And so this week, the upload that I put up on Friday, the 6th of December, again was O Come, Emmanuel, a slightly more polished version, a slightly different version, and a different organ, this time on the organ of Holy Trinity Church in Claygate, which is a 3-manual digital Copeman Hart organ, which was constructed in 1999. It's got oodles of power, and we were probably running at 80%. Towards the end of that one, lots and lots and lots of seasonal fun. So if you want to have a good old sing-along to the traditional Advent carol, O Come, Emmanuel, then it is on the channel. And as always, I put a link to it in the video description. So if you look underneath, you'll be able to link directly to watch that video should you wish to do so. That was this week's upload, O Come, Emmanuel, something for the Christmas season, recorded in Holy Trinity Church, Claygate, as I say. Hope you enjoyed that one. We will have a bit more coffee. It's quite hot this evening, this coffee, I'm just going to say. We'll go on with our next song. Do enjoy. Once again, a very famous song, hopefully, that you have typed in eagerly. Eagerly. I don't know what eager typing is. It's like that. I think it's just my typing, actually. That was, of course, the very lovely song ringing in your ears there, If I Rebel, from 1950. From Guys and Dolls, one of the most popular and successful of all Broadway musicals, with numerous revivals. In fact, there's currently another West End revival going on at the moment, which I believe shuts on early January 2025, but it's been very well received and had lots and lots of extensions. Guys and Dolls, composed by the very smiley Mr. Frank Loesser there. And he wrote all the lyrics as well, incidentally, to that. And it's a fantastic musical, and was, of course, made into a film 5 years later, famously with Frank Sinatra, amongst other people in it. So I hope you enjoyed that one. If I Were a Bell, from 1950, being our third song this evening. So we go from one set of bells, going to like this link, I love this link, to another, because today on the 8th, in fact I think this weekend, the whole weekend, sees the reopening of Notre Dame. You will of course remember those horrific images from 2019 when it catastrophically burned. Well, now it's just been finished, the amazing renovation that's taken place, and the pictures and videos that are emerging are just absolutely amazing, what they've been able to achieve within 5 years to restore it to its glory. Absolutely stunning, and it has its official opening to the public today on the 8th of December. Those of you organ pipes there, very pleased they managed to reassemble and redo the organ. There it is in all its glory there. So just one of the many wonders of Notre Dame, which opens today, the 8th of December, after its 5 years of renovation following that fire in 2019. Okay, so I've still got coffee left, which is unusual for song 4, so I'm going to have a bit more of that before we launch into our next one. I hope you are enjoying this evening's programme. I apologise, we are not live with you, so we are live recorded, coffee and warts and all. Do keep chatting about the songs, the composer, the context, your plans for Christmas, etc, etc, etc. That's always nice to read on my return. know you will be getting these. They're all pretty famous songs this evening, aren't they? And, well, if you're not getting them, then there's something wrong, I feel. So that one was, of course, as you will have been typing in, If I Were a Rich Man, from 1964, which I believe was a very good year for music in lots of ways. If I Were a Rich Man, which of course came from the musical Fiddler on the Roof, and which tells the story of Tevye, the milkman, the dairyman, and he aspires to greater things, greater riches, particularly in that song, the most famous song from that show, Fiddler on the Roof, composed by Mr. Jerry Bock, another happy man. And yes, he was very pleased, I think, with his musical. He also composed other music. It wasn't his first musical by any means. He composed a musical called Fiorelli, and he also composed a lesser-known music called The Rothschilds, which also has some very beautiful music in it, Mr. Jerry Bock. So I hope, as I say, you understood. I hope you understood that song, and its deep metaphorical and musical meaning. No, I hope you enjoyed that one. We don't have that one very often. In fact, I believe that's only the second time we've had it. In all our time on A Date with a Dinner Set, I know 229 programmes and counting. So here we are. We're on December the 8th, the day of the opening of Notre Dame Cathedral after its restoration. But also, for all you foodie people out there, of course, it is National Brownie Day today, isn't it? I feel sure that you've whipped up a batch of the soft, gooey brownies for all to enjoy. And it's very easy to get a brownie wrong, in my humble opinion. I mean, there are some pretty good ones available commercially, but then they're always better homemade. And I say that safely as someone who really does enjoy cooking and baking. And even though I don't eat chocolate, I do make brownies for occasions. And I happen to know that, though I say it myself, they are quite good because I started making them just before I gave up chocolate in 1999 to the recipe by Nigella Lawson. And her recipe is absolutely amazing. You need several mortgages, hence If I Were a Rich Man, to actually make them, because they comprise 60% chocolate, amongst other things, but they are pretty blimmin' good. So whether you like a brownie, whether you like it with nuts in, with chocolate plain, whether you don't like them at all, that is what today is, National Brownie Day, December the 8th. Actually, I've got another little anecdote about brownies now. I do remember back in the mid-1990s, Harrods, there are other little grocer shops in London available, did a very good blondie, a white chocolate brownie in their food hall. And I remember being astounded. How could they charge £1.25? I wonder how much those brownies are now. I would expect they are £4 or £5. They were pretty good, though, I have to say. So today, National Brownie Day, the 8th of December. So we have 2 more songs to go. And in contrast to our last one, I hope you will enjoy the next one. got a lot of ballads this evening, and I think that's one of my all-time favourite ballads. That one comes from 1971. I feel sure my brother, amongst other people, will have been typing that in. It was the song If, and it was first made famous by the group Bread, with its lead singer, David Gates, who also composed that very, very beautiful, meaningful song. David Gates is the one next to the Bread, and as the manager, he may well have been taking the Bread as well. I don't know. But Bread were very successful in the early 1970s, particularly in the US, where they had 13 chart toppers. So, yeah, we got a version of If. Well, we got that one, obviously, but we got our own sort of version of that song by Telly Savalas. Do you remember him? Kojak in 1975, I think capitalising on the Kojak brand. He did a version of that. For some reason, it did extremely well. I'm being a bit disparaging. He didn't sing it, basically. He just spoke it. But then, so did Chesney Allen in Flanagan and Allen. So, you know, and they were successful and wonderful, weren't they? It was entertainment of a sort. So Telly Savalas' version actually got to number one in the UK in 1975, and it stayed there, I think, for 2 weeks. So that was that song, the song If from 1971, composed by Mr. David Gates, who's still very much with us. He has, I think, just recently said he has completely retired from singing, but as I say never again. There's a cue for a song if ever there were one. So just before we launch into our final song, a reminder of partly why we are not live. I have the great pleasure of playing in lots of places for concerts, for extra Christmas services this year. I am so lucky to get to do music 7 days a week, somewhere different, usually a different style every day. I absolutely love it, which is why today, Sunday the 8th of December, we are recorded. So I hope you are still enjoying the programme. As somebody said to me in an email this week, well, we always watch it on catch-ups. It wasn't much different, actually, and just as enjoyable as normal, so that's always lovely to hear. So we are going to go out live. This is important to take note of this. Next Saturday, yes, I know. Saturday the 14th of December, we will go out live because I don't have a concert on that evening. So we will do the programme live because I know people do like the live experience, the live banter in the chat room. And, of course, it will be on the channel for those of you that wish to partake of your date with a dinner set on a Sunday evening. It will be there as a video for the next day, Sunday the 15th. But it will be live. We will be live if you want to chat along a Gaza next Saturday the 14th, and ditto on Saturday the 21st. So there you go. We are going to go into our final bit of music this evening. It's a new song to a date with dinner set. We always try and end with something new, something quirky, something classical, or a request. Well, it's something new, and it sort of fits the theme of what we've been doing. Don't go away, because lots of information to come after this one, particularly a bit of a reveal about what's been going on in this evening's programme, if you haven't already spotted it. I think you'll recognise this one as well. So I do hope you will enjoy our final bit of music before we have a bit of an explanation and say goodnight in our usual way. Thank you. hope you donned your best anorak and did your best Harry Seacombe impression for that very famous song made very famous by the wonderful Sir Harry Seacombe. It was, of course, If I Ruled the World, and If I Ruled the World came from the musical Pickwick from 1963, based, of course, on Charles Dickens' book, The Pickwick Papers. And it was a huge success, that musical, largely because of that song, possibly largely because of Harry Seacombe and also Roy Castle that starred in the original production. But it is an absolutely beautiful song. It has some lovely melodic leaps and falls and harmonic twists. It was composed by Mr. Cyril Ornadel. He was the musical director for Sunday Night at London Palladium, and he composed several musicals, including Pickwick. He also was the musical director for the first productions in the West End of My Fair Lady, Sound of Music, and The King and I, and a truly lovely man as well, apparently. So that's what you were listening to, If I Ruled the World, from 1963, from the musical Pickwick. Now, as I say, because I can't see what you've been chatting, because I'm pre-recording, I wonder if you've got the link between all our songs this evening. It's just the way it worked out. As I was planning the programme and I had done 2 of them, I thought, oh, I wonder if we can make a link there. So we ignore the opening music. That was just a bit of Fry's Turkish Delight just to get us going. But the 6 songs you heard this evening, I reckon you have spotted it. They all began with the word if. It was an iffy programme, isn't it, always? I know. But we can't get the starve, really, can we? So this evening on A Date with a Dinner Set programme 229, you listen to If They Could See Me Now, If I Loved You, If I Were a Belle, If I Were a Rich Man, just if, and If I Ruled the World. Isn't that fantastic? And of course, 5 of those songs come from musicals. And I think that says a lot about the way that musicals were composed in the 40s, 50s and 60s. There was always a song in them which had some sort of aspirational aspect to it, wanting to be somewhere else. So perhaps that's why we get a lot of those songs from musicals with the word if in them. But I thought that was lots of fun to do, to actually create a programme with all songs about if. So I hope you enjoyed the fun as much as I have done. It didn't mean we didn't get anything Christmassy, but hey, it's only the 8th of December, folks. Don't get overexcited and all dramatic about it. There's plenty of time yet. And just a final reminder that we will be live next Saturday, the 14th of December at 6:30. If you want to join in the live fun, or if not, watch it on the catch-up at 18:30 on Sunday. So I've had a great time. I hope you have enjoyed the programme. Thank you so much for listening, whether you've been listening and chatting along with it or whether you're watching on the catch-up. As always, the pleasure is all mine to plan and prepare and to play and enjoy with you the wonderful songs that have been composed. Thank you so much for listening. Do take care of yourselves, and I look forward to playing for you live next Saturday, the 14th of December. Thanks so much. Good night.